that they put into it, so much of a brand that they built that people want to buy it when they don't have a use for it. Kind of like if you remember when the iPad first came out and people were like, what do I even do with this thing? But I just want to buy it because I got to find a need for it. Remember that? Like nobody really even knew what to do with the iPad when it first came out. But it's that, when you have that level of loyalty, that level of connection to a brand, it can just be amazing. So this is a picture of just how happy people can be at Zappos every day. And they're taking 10,000 calls a day of people returning shoes. You'd think that this is the type of business where people want to shoot themselves, right? You're just taking call after call of somebody returning shoes. But if you create a strong culture, I mean, you guys are doing stuff that's actually really fun, right? This involves sports. These people are happy returning shoes. So if they can do that, imagine what kind of level you can take your work to. So this I see as your dashboard, because the idea of it is at the end there, the other funnel is really a megaphone. Because if you get people to that life stage, to that promoter stage in NPS, ultimate question, they are broadcasting to the world for you. They become your marketing department. So if you can start to see this as a dashboard, what you can do is think of this as something that allows you to see how many customers do we have in each stage? Are we paying attention to that? What are we doing for each level of engagement? Because odds are we tend to focus on one of those levels without these distinctions of seeing it as an evolving relationship, that we constantly have many customers in each stage. And the question is really, what game are you playing here? What does the win look like? I think that the interesting story that goes to the preseason of when Gibson won that series for them was that they were in batting practice. It was the first time that Kirk Gibson was with the team, and they were in spring training. And one of the pitchers put that kind of black tar in his helmet, so he put it on. There was all this black all over his face after it. Everybody's laughing hysterically. Apparently, Gibson goes apeshit. He just loses it and is just so upset. And people are like, wow, this guy can't take a joke. But they didn't realize it had nothing to do with that, because when he finally got his cool, he said, look, I am here to win a World Series. That's what I'm here for. That's the game that he was playing. And to really do that takes developing a habit of success, a habit that makes sure it happens automatically rather than leaving it to something that oftentimes doesn't work, like a strategy, like a product that may not work. You have no idea if it's going to work until it's out there, right? But habits are what make the difference. Here's a great example of that. Jerry Rice, right? One of the best NFL players of all time. Bo Eason, he was a safety for them, an amazing speaker if you ever get the chance to hear him speak. He was practicing for the first practice there. And he saw that all the running backs would, the receivers would be running out, getting the ball, catching it, and then jogging back over, throw it to the QB. And every one of them was doing it. Run out, catch the ball, jog back, throw the ball. Jerry Rice comes up. What does he do? He runs, catches the ball, and then just sprints for the end zone at every single catch in practice. And so Bo Eason walks up to him and says, well, what's that all about? You're the only guy who's just every single practice just running all the way down the field for the end zone. And he said, oh, it's really simple. Whenever the ball touches my hand, there's a touchdown. That's habit. That's not leaving it to chance. That's not saying I'm only going to perform if there's something on the line, if I really want it. He's saying I'm performing every moment, and if it's the Super Bowl or another game, it just happens to be another moment where I got a touchdown. That's the power of habit. So what I advise to you guys is to think about this as a habit. Look at and I'm happy to send you this too if you'd like, is to think about this from one stage a day and just do something simple. It can even be like just a 15-minute meeting. A 15-minute meeting per day where Monday you're covering stage 1. Tuesday you're covering stage 2, etc. And for 15 minutes you pull your team in and say, okay, how are we doing here? Maybe that's even in that 15 minutes you just get on the horn and you call a customer that you think is on there. One that just signed up. One that's been with you for years. One that's a super fan in your stage 5. And you just ask them some questions and you get to know them and you spend time with the customer. What the best companies in the world are doing are spending more and more time actually really thinking about the customer directly in touch. At Zappos, CEO on down still spends time on the phone talking to customers every single year. CEO on down is trained in customer service. Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, who owns Zappos now, what he's famous for doing is in meetings, he actually has a empty chair there that represents the customer, so that it never leaves anybody's mind that we are not getting away from this. We will always give the voice to the customer, even if we don't have them right there with us. So if you can do this, if you can make a habit like this, where you don't leave this to, oh, let's go home and talk about this after the conference, and then this just gets put away. It doesn't have to be this, but this is one that I'm recommending, because if you make a practice out of it, a habit out of it, that's when you see the amazing change happening long-term down the road. So I'm happy to send that to you if you want to get in touch with me. I'm at richmond.la. You can drop me a line. I'm happy to send you the presentation or answer any questions or just hear how this was for you. I'd love to help you out on any level. I am so excited for you guys, for your industry. It's such a fun thing that's going on. I'm just blown away by your technology, and thank you so much for having me here.
Thanks for coming, everybody. It's not totally over at this point. At 6:30, we've got dinner, and it's a great spread. We've got all of the industry awards, including the FSTA awards for the Writers Hall of Fame edition, and also tomorrow morning we've got a complimentary breakfast on your way out before you hit the airport. Lastly, if this is your phone, it's been up here for a couple hours. You're probably missing it. That's yours. Okay, there we go. Okay, outstanding. Thank you all for coming. If I don't have a chance to see you again. This is either our best attended or second best attended event ever. Next one is Chicago, the 13th and 14th of June at the Doubletree. Been before, a great spot right off of Magnificent Mile. So we'll see you at dinner. We'll see you at the awards show, hopefully. Thank you for coming, and thanks for coming.